Imagine our entire solar system, the Sun, all 8 planets, every moon, every asteroid, every comet, compressed into a single point in space. Now imagine something so massive that it could swallow that solar system whole and not even notice. That is not a thought experiment. That object is real. It exists right now, 10.4 billion light-years from Earth. It has a mass equivalent to 66 billion suns. Its event horizon is so wide that light, traveling at 300,000 kilometers per second, would take weeks to cross it. Its name is TON 618, and it is the largest black hole ever confirmed by science. In this video, you are going to understand exactly how something this enormous forms, why it terrifies astrophysicists, and what it tells us about the ultimate fate of the universe. Stay until the end, because the final fact about TON 618 will completely change how you see the night sky. Black holes are one of the most discussed objects in modern science, but most explanations stop at the basics. They tell you a black hole is dense, that nothing escapes it, and that they are found at the center of galaxies, and then they stop. TON 618 is something else entirely. It belongs to a category so extreme that physicists had to create a new classification for it. Ultramassive. Not supermassive, ultramassive. And understanding it forces us to confront questions that standard physics cannot yet answer. By the end of this video, you will know 3 things that most people, including many science enthusiasts, do not know. First, why TON 618 should not exist according to our current models of galaxy formation. Second, what happens at its event horizon and why the experience would be nothing like what science fiction shows you. Third, the time paradox built into observing it, and what that means for everything we think we know about the universe. This channel covers deep space science using peer-reviewed research, data from NASA, ESA, and leading universities. No speculation dressed as fact. No clickbait without substance. Just the universe, explained clearly. Let's start with scale. Numbers this large are almost impossible for the human brain to process intuitively, so let's use comparisons. The black hole at the center of our own Milky Way, Sagittarius A star, has a mass of about 4 million suns. It is already difficult to comprehend. TON 618 has a mass of 66 billion suns. That is not 66 billion times more massive than our Sun. That is 16,500 times more massive than Sagittarius A star itself. If our galaxy's black hole were the size of a tennis ball, TON 618 would be taller than a 6-story building. Its Schwarzschild radius, the radius of the event horizon, the point of no return, is approximately 1,300 astronomical units. 1 astronomical unit is the distance from the Earth to the Sun, 150 million kilometers. TON 618's event horizon is 1,300 times that distance. To put that another way, Neptune, the outermost planet in our solar system, is 30 astronomical units from the Sun. TON 618's event horizon extends 43 times further than Neptune. Now here is the part that most videos skip. TON 618 is not directly visible. What we detect is the quasar surrounding it, one of the brightest objects in the known universe. A quasar is the superheated disk of gas and dust that spirals into the black hole at relativistic speeds. As this material falls in, friction heats it to billions of degrees and it releases energy equivalent to trillions of suns, outshining entire galaxies. The black hole itself emits nothing. What we see is the scream of matter as it disappears forever. TON 618's quasar, catalogued in 1957 as part of the Tone and Scintilla survey, was originally classified simply as a bright radio source. It was only decades later, through spectroscopic analysis, that scientists realized the black hole behind it was in a class of its own. Here is the central mystery of TON 618. According to our best models of cosmic evolution, it should not exist. Black holes grow by consuming matter, gas, dust, stars, and other black holes that fall within their gravitational reach. Standard physics sets a speed limit on how fast this can happen. It is called the Eddington limit, the maximum accretion rate at which the radiation pressure from infalling matter pushes back against further infall. Beyond this rate, the outward radiation force exceeds gravity. Growth theoretically stops. Given the Eddington limit and the age of the universe, 13.8 billion years, most physicists would predict a maximum black hole mass somewhere in the range of a few tens of billions of solar masses under ideal conditions. TON 618 sits at 66 billion. It is at the very edge of what should be physically possible and possibly beyond it. So how did it get this large? There are three leading hypotheses. The first, super Eddington accretion. Some models suggest that under specific conditions, particularly in the dense, chaotic early universe, black holes could temporarily exceed the Eddington limit, growing faster than theory predicts. The second hypothesis, direct collapse. Instead of forming from a dead star, some black holes in the early universe may have formed directly from collapsing gas clouds hundreds of thousands of times the mass of our Sun, skipping the stellar phase entirely. The third, runaway mergers. In densely packed protogalactic environments, black holes may have merged repeatedly and rapidly, combining mass faster than radiation pressure could slow them. The honest answer is, we do not know which mechanism produced TON 618, or whether it was all three at once. This is not a failure of science. It is exactly how science works. The universe has handed us an object that our current models cannot fully explain, and that is where the best research happens. Keep watching. Here is the fact that keeps physicists awake at night. When we observe TON 618, we are not seeing it as it is today. We are seeing it as it was 10.4 billion years ago, because that is how long its light has taken to reach us. The universe itself was only around 3.4 billion years old at that point. TON 618 had already reached 66 billion solar masses within the first quarter of the universe's existence. Think about what that means. It had already grown to an incomprehensible size before our solar system, our planet, or any life anywhere on Earth had any reason to exist. We have no idea what TON 618 looks like right now. By the time light from the present day TON 618 reaches Earth, our Sun will be long dead. Now let's address the event horizon and correct the science fiction version. Popular culture shows you crossing a black hole's event horizon as a violent, visually dramatic experience. In reality, if you fell into TON 618's event horizon, you would feel nothing. No tearing, no explosion, no war. Because TON 618 is so massive, its tidal forces at the event horizon are actually gentler than Earth's own gravity at the surface. General relativity permits this. The event horizon is not a physical surface. It is a mathematical boundary. the point at which escape velocity exceeds the speed of light. You would cross it without any sensation of crossing it. You would look back and see the universe continuing normally behind you for a while. Only later, as you fell deeper, would tidal forces begin pulling you apart in a process physicists call spaghettification. But by then, no information about your fate could escape to warn anyone outside. From the universe's perspective, you simply vanished. Let's bring it all together quickly. Point 1. TON 618 is the most massive black hole ever confirmed. 66 billion solar masses. An event horizon so wide that crossing it at the speed of light would take weeks. It is classified as ultramassive, a category beyond the supermassive black holes found at the center of most large galaxies. Point 2. It should not exist, at least not according to the physics we currently understand. The Eddington limit, our best theoretical speed limit on black hole growth, cannot fully account for how TON 618 reached its size in the time available. Super Eddington accretion, direct collapse, and repeated mergers are the leading explanations, but none is confirmed. Point 3. We are looking 10.4 billion years into the past when we observe it. We do not know what TON 618 is right now, and crossing its event horizon would be, counterintuitively, a smooth, imperceptible experience until it wasn't. TON 618 is not just a record-breaking object, it is an open question, a challenge issued by the universe to every physicist alive today. And so far, the universe is winning. The universe contains objects so extreme that they break our models, erase our intuitions, and demand entirely new physics. TON 618 is one of them, and it is almost certainly not the most extreme thing out there. If this kind of deep space science is something you want more of, subscribing means you won't miss what's coming next.